We are here with Crystal, and Crystal honestly is a superstar client. We were just kind of talking about that before this call. She was amazing, got amazing results in the program. She honestly has a full plate with her job, with her kids, her spouse, et cetera, and she still found a way to do as much as she could, make a ton of progress in the process.
I'm excited to be able to share a little bit about it. I will say the very first encounter that I had with Isaiah and Top of the Line was a video that you posted, and it was one of those popular ones at the time, but it was the little orange kind of cartoon man that just dances and you put something over it. So he was just dancing around. And I think the caption was something like, you were saying something to the effect of, if you keep dancing and then you're wondering why you're not seeing results. And
Yeah.
I just commented like, well, okay. You responded right away to the well and was like, well, what does that mean? And I was like, I'm dancing. I feel like I am dancing. People are watching me dance and there's nothing happening. And I don't understand why. Quickly scheduled a call, probably a couple of days or so. It was a weekend. So we scheduled a call. I, went through a lot of information that was all helpful.
Yeah.
But ultimately at the very end, you were like, so what's up? You gonna join or not? So that's kind of how we started.
Okay, got you. All right, sweet. And that's usually where it starts for most people is they see some piece of content that resonates or triggers something. All right, so what do you feel like you were struggling with most coming into the program, and I guess what made you actually want to join?
Not seeing the results that I felt like I was working toward.
Yeah.
People who know me know that I'm pretty consistent. I think I was sharing with you like just the number of days on my fitness pal and the streaks on Peloton. Like it wasn't for a lack of trying, but for the life of me, I just could not see results. And that bothered me. And I thought, you know a lot, but you don't know everything. And so maybe there's some component of what he can offer that will kickstart, put you in the right direction, like point you there. I think I knew going in, I wasn't going to be one that would have to fully rely on it, throughout, because I'm consistent, I'm disciplined, and I do those things, but it was just the wrong formula. It just wasn't working for me, I think. So that was pretty much what happened, what I was struggling with.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember that conversation when you broke down to me everything that you were doing. I was like, wow, you're actually working very hard. I think you had tracked food for it was like over a year or something.
Oh, I know today, as a matter of fact, I was like, I meant to share that with you too. Let's see what my streak is today on my fitness pal. 3,080 days.
Yeah,
So
sheesh.
that's several years.
Yeah, right.
Several years. And it just, you can imagine the frustration
Definitely.
knowing I'm doing the work. I'm not doing work. It just
Exactly.
isn't the right work.
So what were some of the things that we were able to help you implement when you came in to start getting you moving in the right direction?
I think key, I was scrolling back and looking at some of the dialogue that Ann and I had was her kind of reminder of my mindset and my accepting my goals as small as they were. If I gave her a goal that was too lofty, she would back that up because not saying I couldn't reach it, but if I didn't, she knew I was just going to be hypocritical and hypercritical of myself, and I wasn't going to quit. I was just going to be mad about it. And
Right.
so if I, weighed in a day and it wasn't where I wanted to be, she would be like, okay, so 7 days ago, you were this. She found a light somewhere in these tunnels.
Yeah.
And the photos, I think I don't take pictures for lots of reasons, but the actual taking the pictures of myself every 2 weeks, and now it's just kind of monthly, and really looking at the picture without my judgment blinders on and
Yeah.
seeing this is progress.
Right.
So her reminder that you can find positive things in everything that you're doing, even if it's just that you did this today, whereas somebody else didn't.
Yeah.
Whereas you felt like you didn't even want to, but you did it anyway.
Yeah.
So help me identify, just excuses, I guess, and push through those hard times.
Yeah. Definitely. And I know a big part of this journey is giving yourself grace and
Mm.
also learning to manage expectations properly.
Yes.
I know for sure you stepped into that space, so that's awesome. All right, so what were some of the results that you saw? In terms of either how much weight you lost or whether it was clothes fitting different, energy, mindset. What were some of the results that you saw?
All the above. My clothes are definitely fitting differently, but I'm not ready to go wardrobe shopping yet because I'm kind of in an in between where I think I want to keep going. So I'm waiting on buying those good things that I want, but just getting a few things. This morning, I'm almost at 35 pounds, and it's say to pick a goal, pick a number if that's what you need, and then once you get there, you need to back off and kind of reevaluate.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that number yet, and I've slowed down certainly, but almost at 35 pounds, whereas I have been the same weight for maybe 2 years, 2 or more years,
Right.
not gaining weight, but certainly not losing weight. So all of that was just to maintain the foolishness that I called, which was just out of out of order. Um, so the weight, obviously the inches, we didn't do a great job of measuring those, but that proof is obviously very visual in the pictures.
Yeah.
And then just the mindset to know how to show up for myself. Many times the fitness journey in particular is one where people want to do it as a group. Like, let's do this, let's start doing this. And that was not going to work for me. If it was not a group of dedicated and like-minded people who I knew I could count on, or who I was able to call out your excuse as well as you were able to call out mine, I wasn't going to get there. So really, I had to kind of just like break ties with some of that banter and those conversations around, let's go do this today, and then 3 weeks later, y'all want to do one more thing again. Like,
Right.
if I had to show it for me first. And one of my friends, I kept telling her the word selfish was coming up. Like, I just felt so selfish, and she's like, this completely the opposite.
Yeah.
It was selfless, for me to just, I really had to remove everything else and say, I'm gonna work on me. If you don't want to walk today, I'm not gonna make you. If you don't want to eat that today, I'm not gonna make you. I will go out with you and I will celebrate with you, but it's your birthday, it's not mine.
Right.
Um, so I kept my expectations for myself, very tightly guarded. I don't even know that I shared my journey with a lot of people, get comments about, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What the children say, I'm drinking my water and minding my business, because I'm not going to get into it with you, because I know where we're going to end, and it makes me spend bandwidth that I don't have.
Yeah.
So my days are really stacked and scheduled now around my time. If
Yeah.
that means dinner is late, if that means, clothes get done tomorrow, if that means I'll fill that out the next day, it is what it is.
Yeah. Got you. Got you. And speak on that a little bit in terms of the bandwidth, because I know what your work schedule looks like, obviously with the family, the kids, and that's something I feel like a lot of moms tend to struggle with, is like drawing those boundaries, understanding, okay, what's actually within my means. When do I actually have to put this off? When do I say no, in social situations with friends? Kind of speak on how you felt you were able to navigate that space.
I think I just came to a point where I had to decide what I need to do and what I want to do. I want to show up for everyone in a supportive way in their special days, their special times, their spaces. And that's just not friends. That's family as well. I want to be at every event you throw. But the way that the program and the way that it teaches you to train yourself for your lifestyle is that you're going to have to consistently be thinking on the fly. If I can't make these arrangements ahead of time, and I can't plan for my meal, or I can't plan for my activity, I'm going to struggle. And me struggling is good for no one,
Right.
because I know my value and I know what I have to do, and it's a lot. And so you really have to come to terms with, these are some things that I would love to do today, but these are the things that I just have to do today. And if you're not in the first one, two, or three, you need to throw that list away and start over. Put yourself there. I mean, people aren't missing meals. People are not, losing out on opportunities and spaces. Those things get done. We always get them done. But if you don't show yourself the priority, then what you're showing other people around you is that they come before you.
Yeah.
There's a way to be supportive for people, but for them to know she shows up for us because I know she shows up for herself first.
Wow. Yeah. No, that was really powerful. Definitely powerful. And what would you say to someone who, feels like they're either in that position or they're kind of on the fence, they want to make a change or they want to do something different, they're thinking about joining the program. What would you tell someone who's kind of on the fence about things?
I'm not old, but I feel like I'm getting old. And I feel like I want more of my days that I remember to be filled with just living a lifestyle that I know I worked hard for. Prior to the program, I can't think of a season of life where I wasn't working on fitness. I wasn't working towards weight loss. I wasn't in a program. I wasn't on a diet. Those are the things that I remember. I'm always doing something to work towards it, but never quite activating it. And it's the feeling is quite overwhelming. Like once you get it and once you see that it's working, the challenge is stopping. The challenge is like pulling back and being like, okay, no, I probably shouldn't do that. Let me reevaluate some of my goals, like Ann said. But if you are torn back and forth, if any thought comes up that you're consciously wanting to take action on, the only thing you have to do is to make the step. You have to actually do something. You can't think about it. You can't want it. People can't want it for you. I can't want for you to feel better. I can't want for you to move more. You have to want it for yourself. And once you start showing up for yourself and cheerleading yourself, that's really all it took for me. I was like, okay, girl,
Yeah.
yes, but don't tarry on a decision to improve your overall well-being. You will never regret that decision.
And I invited you on here for a reason. I think your your perspective and your outlook on things is top tier, and your results, honestly, it shows. Like I told you before this call, like you're the perfect picture of our ideal client, what we want for everyone, what we want them to get out of this, how we want them to come out on the other side. I'm happy for you. I'm glad to hear that, you're still crushing it, still like losing weight long after working with us. It makes me happy to hear that. So Crystal, I appreciate you jumping on here, sharing your story. I definitely think it'll be good for others to hear your perspective. So yeah, thank you for hopping on here.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I forgot to mention the group calls. The
Yeah.
group calls were key.
Yeah.
The group calls got me back into the space of community, but like-minded community.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty true. I know some of those calls were pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. It got deep on quite a few of those
Yes, we
calls.
had good calls. We had good calls.
Appreciate you again.
Thank you.